Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
All hands on deck. WCS Media back at it once again. Salute to the supporters that's dropping in and supporting your boy. I appreciate you. Continue to do so, man. Hit the like button when you come in the door. However, the window, the rooftop, whatever you decide, man. Long as you tuning in and long as you here to recognize, work being put in across the spectrum. And I appreciate your presence. Real talk. Appreciate your presence. We'll get down to it, Shawty. You already know what the thumbnail is. I had to address the madness. Once again, I have to address the madness, man. Article came out. Eddie Hearns. He's at it again. He's coming out, speaking about Anthony Joshua stopping Alexander Usyk in 6. But the bigger topic, the bigger title is the one he said Canelo versus Triple G 3 is a bigger fight than Spence versus Crawford. Once again, I have to address the madness. Eddie Hearns, who I've grown to respect because he's very, very good at what he does. He said Canelo versus Triple G 3 is bigger than Spence versus Crawford. Now, one thing I don't like doing is getting to those bogus numbers, that everybody fluff like a my pillow. I don't get into all that. I'm not going to explain how, Eddie Hearns was bogus by the numbers. I'm going to explain just based off where they're both at, where both set of fighters are at this point in their career. All right. We already know once you get to the pinnacle, it's hard to stay on top. It's hard to levitate up there over and over again. Now, granted, I'm saluting Canelo because he's getting paid, man. I don't care how much money Canelo getting paid. He's getting paid. He's feeding his family. He has generational wealth. He's able to buy because he's sitting there and earn that shit in boxing. No matter how he got it, he earned it. Now, there's some questionable asterisks in his career, but that's a lot of boxers. But let me tell you this right here. This isn't about money. What Eddie Hearns said isn't about money. To him, it'll be about money. Of course, it'll be about money. But right now, we're going to look at both sets of fighters. And it's a huge separation, in my opinion. Because first of all, let's just answer and address the elephant, okay? Both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are undefeated fighters. Both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are in the same division. Okay? That's two. That's two bulletized points right there. 2 bulletized points. They're in the same division. Both Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence are on the pound for pound list. That's the third one. Then you have to consider how many years this fight has been spoken about. Now, of course, it would be great if we was heading to a rematch or a trilogy with both of these fighters, but we aren't. But what we can say about Canelo Alvarez and Triple G is that they've been in the ring twice already, under the bright lights, in front of the cameras. The first one was a draw, controversial, that drew in. Okay, it drew in attention for the rematch. The rematch happened, and truly, what Abel Sanchez was calling for Mexican style, Canelo kind of gave him that style. He kind of gave him that energy and action that they was looking for. And unbeknownst to the public that was tuned in, we was like saying to ourselves, "What in the Sam Hill? Why isn't Triple G responding with Mexican resistance? I mean, mano y mano, mano y mano." It seems like Canelo, you know, seized the momentum early, and Triple G was never able to just get it back throughout the entire fight. A lot of people can say what they want, that Triple G won that, Canelo won this and all this other stuff. When the record books show that Canelo defeated Triple G in the rematch, that we know. But with that said, is Gennady Golovkin has that only one loss at middleweight to Canelo Alvarez. Right or wrong? Let me get to the chat right quick. Andrew Charles on deck with it. What's good? Mark Nash on deck. Salute. Showtime Shot News Media UGK on deck with it. You know what I mean? Salute WCS. Talk to them. Salute, man. We see you out there getting it in, Charlie. Goddamn, you got the shutter bug. He got the shutter bug, y'all. But check this out, though. Abel Sanchez was calling for the Mexican style. He got the Mexican style, but yet his fighter chose to fight a different style. You know what I'm saying? The AARP style. Give me my last paycheck style. Today I'm feeling arthritic. I need some, icy hot style. You know what I'm saying? Give me some Ben Gay style. I need fiber style. Something was going on that Triple G really didn't give us that clash that we was hoping for in the rematch. We didn't get the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? The fight went the distance, and Triple G holds that only loss on his record at middleweight. Now, granted, this fight they talking about supposed to be taking place at super middleweight. So being that Triple G somehow, some way has found a life raft to be able to obtain the IBF and the WBA middleweight titles, it's just shocking. Because for a while, we didn't even think that he won the IBF title fight that he was awarded. And then he went in there and fought Yoda Murata / Dimitri Bivol lookalike, and he ended up stopping the guy out of nowhere. The guy been out the ring like 2 years. So he up there picked up the WBA super. But yet, he's never fought outside the middleweight division, and he's provided opportunity for a trilogy outside of the weight class for which they fought twice. Now I'm getting to the point, right? I'm getting to the point on why this fight isn't as big as Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Because the popularity of them two at middleweight is that's where it all happens. You know what I'm saying? That's where it all happened. The first two fights happened in middleweight. That's where, the history lies in the backstory. But now Canelo has unified the super middleweight, and Triple G has never fought outside middleweight. I mean, people are going to look at this fight and say, you know what? Triple G is not going to look that well fighting at a higher weight class with Canelo, who's been up to 68, 75. He's not going to look that great. Now, if Canelo was coming down to 60, to basically put the entire boxing community on notice that he wasn't scared to roll back down to 60 and drop all that weight. Because think about this shit now. Think about 40 to 47, 47 to 54, 54 to 60. That shit is much different than bantamweight, the super bantamweight to featherweight. You know what I'm saying? Featherweight to super featherweight. It's a big difference, dog. You start talking about several pounds to drop for somebody as heavy as Canelo. But Canelo just stepped up to 75 and lost to Dimitri Bivol. And also, it unseated him on the pound for pound, the top pound for pound list. Now, all of a sudden, people don't give a fuck about the pound for pound list. You should, you know. I mean, I don't give 100% goddamn about the pound for pound, but I'm saying, like, I do care a bit, especially when Crawford's at the top of it. You feel me? So this man picked up his second loss against a world champion at light heavyweight. Wasn't this the same scenario that I gave when I talked about Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo? I said if Errol Spence wanted to go up there and fight Mel Charlo for the unification for the undisputed titles, if he took that loss and came back down, people may not look at the fight when him and Crawford with the highest regard anymore. You know what I'm saying? They saying, oh man, he has a loss. They ain't undefeated. It's something about having that O on their record that brings suspense, right? And people want to come to the motherfucking arena and sit down and watch a fight. But with Canelo Alvarez right now, he has 2 losses. Triple G has 1 loss, but Triple G is much older. Canelo's sitting at 33. Triple G, 63. Okay? Him and Luis Ortiz, goddamn same age. Real talk, same age. It's less people that's vested in thinking, okay, yeah, it's something we're going to get out of this. If Triple G, will he defeat Canelo Alvarez at 68? A lot of people don't think that shit will happen. Even with him losing to Dimitri Bivol, a lot of people don't see Triple G moving up out of the weight class for the first freaking time and defeating Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Triple G3 is trash, but it might still do more numbers than Bud Spence. Now, for those individuals and like Eddie Hearn and everybody else that believe this fight will do more numbers than Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Look, Crawford Spence is the biggest fight in boxing right now. Not Canelo and Triple G. They're not the biggest fight in boxing. They have already fought. It's something special about 2 fighters stepping in the ring for the first time. When I say the first time, I'm talking about 2 elite fighters stepping in the square to compete versus the other for the very first time. Not just any fighters, but we're talking about it's no gaps in here. It's no one fighter's moving up 2 divisions. One fighter's moving up 1 division. It's no this fighter's been out for 2 years. This fighter has 1 loss on his record. This fighter that, this fighter's that. It's no inconclusive type evidence that you can put to this. Everything's conclusive when we've been talking about this shit for years upon years upon years. So how in the hell can Canelo Alvarez and Triple G be carried on the back of Canelo alone? Be carried on the back of Canelo to say people are not going to tune in if it's at Vegas and watch these 2 fight. Man, this fight right here is going to do crazy numbers. Sick. This shit is going to do chicken pox numbers. This shit going to have motherfuckers itching. This shit going to do shingle numbers. Poison ivy. People going to be scratching themselves. What's the fight day? What's the fight date again? Oh, God. Check the reservations. You make the reservations? All right, cool. Man, I need to go out here and make some money. I'm taking the lawnmower out there and I'm going to do some more lawns, okay? Don't wait up for me. I got to make this money back. God damn, that shit's expensive. The rooms have goddamn tripled in Vegas. How dare they? Heel on deck was good. Salute, respect to you, WCS. Is trying to take shots at Al Heyman and Ellaby, but failed miserably by giving the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight more promo and attention. Man, that's the name of the game, man. I'm telling you right now. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is a bigger fight than Canelo Triple G. Both of these fighters have losses. One of these fighters has several losses on his record already. Though both of them have a crazy amount of experience combined than Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, we have learned in this era, okay, we have learned deeply that this can be a popularity contest too. Real talk. This sport is all about popularity too. We see it all the time over here on YouTube that this sport consists of a popularity contest. If I'm looking at both pairs of both fighters, the pair of fighters, and I want to sit there and put them on a scale of popularity and see who's going to weigh the most, I'm going to say CrawfordSpence. Canelo, even though he is the grandiose, you know what I'm saying? He is the cash cow of boxing. He took a big hit going up there losing to Dimitri Bivol the way he did. Not just the loss, it's the way he lost. The way he was beaten. He didn't have an answer. He went up there and fought a cruiserweight. Motherfucking Bivol looked big as shit. He looked like goddamn Rolly Romero. They hydrated well, and Bivol put the hands on Canelo. It's, I'm not saying people lost 100% respect for Canelo. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you on top like Canelo, and you've been making all these moves, and you've been getting the bag the way he has, you know what I'm saying? Those bags so heavy that his shoulders kind of tight carrying them joints, right? We're not talking about carrying a bag home. We're talking about carrying bags to the Brinks truck. That's what Canelo's been paid. But the way he lost to Bivol, and at no time in that fight, he had an answer that earned the respect of Dimitri Bivol, fans kind of aborted mission a little bit. Some of his fans was like, well, I guess it's all coming out in the open now. They use that quote unquote exposed word that Canelo have. But when it comes to Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, bro, this is the biggest fight everybody want to see. It's going to be people placing bets with their mortgage, their car notes, their kids' college tuition, grocery, weed money, health and comfort items. People are going to be putting all this up on and making bets all over the place, man. When this fight becomes official and the bet odds come out, it don't fucking matter who they put as a favorite. It don't matter whether it's Crawford and whether it's Crawford. It don't matter who they put as a favorite. You feel me? It doesn't matter. People still going to put their money on who they think. Because from my understanding on this YTC shit, right? The bigger fan base for which I see and what, I witness out here is Errol Spence has a much larger fan base of individuals who's willing to fall in line, you know what I'm saying, covering the line and advocate for Errol Spence beating Terrence Crawford. So therefore, it doesn't matter what the bet odds is going to be. The Crawford fans are going to support the Crawford fans. Spence fans are going to support the Spence. You know what I'm saying? Crawford fans going to support Crawford. Spence fans going to support Spence. That's the way it's going to be. No one's really going to get up here and be extremely mad at the bet odds. This is a close fight heading in there. Like, skill for skill, time for time. You know what I'm saying? This is what we've been waiting. You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for this to materialize. We've been waiting for this to marinate long enough. Now it's time to put it up before the boxing world so we can actually witness these two stepping in the ring together. And the good thing about this fight is it's not during the pandemic, y'all. You remember when we was in the pandemic? And man, some of these fights, even though they wasn't on the magnitude of Spence Crawford, right? Some of these fights was getting close, and then they didn't happen. Oh, so-and-so tested positive for COVID. Where did that go to, dog? Where did that go to? Is COVID still alive? I'm pretty sure it is, but you're not hearing too many fighters get get canceled because of COVID anymore. Like at a certain time when they was fighting in the bubble, man, that shit was like frequent. But we don't have to worry about that because of recent, we haven't had no fighters really. I remember we had Alexander Povetkin test positive for COVID, and in his rematch with Dillian White. We had some here and there's, but when it boils down to it, we pretty safe. We just need for them to stay healthy during training camp, and then step into the ring injury free, so this can be an epic night of boxing. But to Eddie Hearn, popularity wise, Canelo and Triple G does not equal up. The equity of Canelo Triple G does not supersede that of CrawfordSpence. The popularity is too big. There's too much popularity between these two fighters. They both black fighters too. Two elite black fighters on the pound for pound list in the same division, and they're both reigning champions in the same division. In the same division. This is for undisputed. Yeah, people are going to say, well, listen, Scotty, their fight is for undisputed too. Okay, yeah, he can be fighting for Canelo's belts, but it's not going to be the same because Triple G will be moving from 60 to 68 for the first time. 60 to 68, y'all. He's moving up out of the division to go challenge for the undisputed titles. How is that weight? How is that weight going to feel on Triple G? How is that going to feel? Can you really do it? I don't think you really ever felt comfortable with moving out of 60. And then you about to move up to 68 for a huge fight with someone you have a history with. I can say for certain that Canelo is acclimated to the 168-pound division. The reason why we can all say that is because he earned the undisputed titles. He successfully unified the entire division, y'all. Bud Spence is a historical matchup for the boxing history books, but those two guys are only really popular with mainly the American fan base as opposed to the global market. Okay. Good point that you made, Andrew. But when you talk about global market, so let me assume that you're speaking about, Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican fan base he has, and the U.S. fan base he has. All right, Canelo. We just talking about Canelo. But then there's a downward spike, right? There's a downward spike when it comes to Triple G, because Triple G doesn't have that global fan base like that. Triple G doesn't have the same fan base Canelo have. Triple G has been out of sight, out of mind in Area 52, bro. He doesn't have that star power like Canelo. People are seeing Canelo everywhere. The man's went over here and unified the vision. He got into an altercation with Caleb Plant. He just finished, losing to Dimitri Bivol. A whole lot of people know Canelo more than they know Triple G. But the bad thing about this whole scenario is that Canelo's not going to be able to pick up the slack of the fans that really don't know Triple G like that. He's been out of the picture for quite some time, while Crawford and Spence has been in the picture. They've been in the picture doing their own damn thing, man, in their own division. This is where I'm speaking strictly on welterweight. They've been able to continue to gain popularity. by any means necessary, whether it's out the ring or in the ring. In the ring, both of these guys are coming off stoppages. Both of these guys' names pop up whenever the other one's, in the ring. Errol, it's good to see you. Now that you've won this fight, do you think we'll be able to see the fight everybody's looking for? What fight is that? You and Crawford. Yeah, it happened. Crawford, congratulations on the win. Now that you retire Sean Porter, do you think this year we'll be able to see you step in the ring with Errol Spence? Yeah, it can happen. That's commonplace right now. Commonplace for those questions for Jim Gray, whoever is giving the post fight, to ask those questions. Was anybody asking Triple G when he unified the super middleweight division? Did anybody ask him, "Hey, do you think we'll be able to see you? You and Triple G3? Man, we just really anxious to see that. Is he still? What is he doing these days? Is he coaching, or does he open up a gym? What has Triple G's been out? I haven't heard too much from him there, Canelo. Tell us about it. Triple G just sitting in the dark, right? Just sitting in there enjoying, his life, whatever, knowing damn well he about to retire. Waiting. Finally get Yoda Morales, say, no problem. I pick this belt up. Boom, gets the belt. And then goes back to the rocking chair on the porch. Nobody's talking about Triple G defeating Yoda Murata. Nobody, bro. No one's sitting up here bringing up that conversation, putting up a thumbnail. Fight reflection in review. Spin the reel back to Triple G versus Yoda Murata. Nobody's doing a live on that shit. I didn't see none of them cats doing a live on that. I would go out on a limb to say when the fight was made, it might have been one or two thumbnails that pop up to even spoke about it for 8 minutes and 5 seconds. That shit was a reel. Nobody went up here glorifying that fight, but they're gonna glorify the fuck out of CrawfordSpence though. It's gonna be motherfucking mania on this month. It's gonna be YouTube mania on here once this fight is official. And then the Mexican fans are gonna have to choose sides on who they want to support, because it's 2 black fighters this time. So the Mexican fans, the Filipino fans, they're gonna have to find out. Who can I? Let me see. Who can I? Did anyone face Manny Pacquiao? Did Terrence Crawford? No. Oh shit. Damn. What about Errol Spence? Did he face Manny Pacquiao? No. God damn it. We're gonna have to call up Manny. And whoever Manny is siding with, that's who we're gonna go with. We're gonna call Manny tonight. So the Filipino boxing fan, they're gonna call up Manny or somebody on his team and say, Manny, who are you going for in this fight? I know you don't have any vested interests or whatever, but who are you going for in this fight? Don't connect the belt that you used to have and you lost to Udenis Ugas, who now, Errol Spence is in possession of them. Don't link it up like that. Just give us, who are you rooting for? Who is your favorite to win this fight? And then the Filipino fans is going to take Manny's word. Boom. Mexican fans is going to be a little different because the Latino fans are different, bro. We talking about Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Mexico, whatever you was born within Mexico, Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's gonna get a whole lot different. They have to go off 2 black fighters, and they have to really assess, okay, who we gonna put our interest in, man? Who? Which one of them? CrawfordSpence. Let me see. CrawfordSpence. How can we link them up? Let me see. How can we link them up? Shit. Goddamn. Crawford fought Jose Benavidez, but Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia. Shit. Okay, we cannot put Carlos Ocampo in there. Hell no. Let me see, what else can we put for Spence? Let me see, what can we put for Crawford? They're going to try to narrow down opponents that has some type of Mexican heritage or lineage, some type of Latino heritage to it. Let me see what. Let me see this, that. Shakur Stevenson had Puerto Rican. No, Terrence is definitely, black from Omaha. Errol Spence, a little Jamaican, and okay. What color car they drive? You don't know? Damn. But Canelo got horses. Errol Spence got horses. You know what I'm saying? They gonna try anything and everything. I'm telling y'all, bro. The Eastern European and Central Asian fan base will turn up for Triple G. Add that in with Canelo's draw, and it's gonna pull in some numbers. I look at it once again. Appreciate the drop there, Andrew. Once again, I look at it like this. Was the numbers ever announced for Triple G versus Yoda Murata? Was the numbers ever announced? Did we hear any type of numbers? Or people just didn't care? I swear, I didn't hear anybody talking about the numbers of Triple G Yoda Murata. I didn't hear it, bro. I'm just a fan, though. I don't know shit. Nah, bro, I appreciate the input. Real talk. You know your shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. Don't worry about what I say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna agree with everything. But my disagreements don't mean it's right. I do know which fight I do care about, though, and that's CrawfordSpence. That's all I'm saying. This is a much bigger fight, man, when it comes down to it. That's a way bigger fight, man. That shit is a way bigger fight. So for Eddie Hearns, he has to look at it in a way to promote his vested interests, as always. He's gonna put it out there because he had business relations before with the Canelo Triple G fight that he's trying to bolster. But he really can't say he had any type of relation with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, any at all. He can't really say. I mean, I bet Eddie Hearn would have loved to sign one of these guys. He would have loved to sign one of these guys, man. But it just never happened. And it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. So right now, Eddie really have no skin in the game to say, you know what, let me boost up CrawfordSpence. And that ain't going to happen, bro. All right? I want to talk about that welterweight Jahi Tucker, right? All right? So if you haven't followed him on IG, go to Instagram, who is Jahi Tucker, and follow him, right? Jahi Tucker is stepping in the ring for his 8th professional fight. This is what becomes the Wild Wild West with Jahi, because every fight he stepped in the ring with, every fighter he stepped in the ring with, he's presented them with a different look, a different fighting style for that fight. Now, of course, there's similarity in certain things he does, but neither one of them 7 fights has been a fight that you can say, okay, he fought fight 2 and 3 the same way he did number 6 or number 5. Each look has been different. It wasn't like the opponent was incredibly, how you put it, just came into that fight with Jahi Tucker and the bed knobs was just lopsided. Like, it was like a 20-1 in favor of his opponent. It was never like that. He's been building up his record since day one. You know what I'm saying? I remember hearing Showtime put it out there that he was LeBron James of boxing. So Jahi split the ropes on his first fight, his debut, 0-0. You know what I'm saying? Straight out the hallways, straight out them high school hallways into the ring. And he had the LeBron James jersey on. And, they were saying he's the LeBron James of boxing. Now, anybody else that choose to try to extract that as if it's your own, then you should pay homage to the person who said it first. That's real talk. I just thought I had to get that out the way because people be stealing people's information and criteria, and they don't want to provide them credit. You can't sit up here because you have numbers and put that title off on another fighter without letting them know where you got it from. Come on, man. Don't sit up here and try to bully another channel that's not as big as yours. Anyway, back to Jahi Tucker, man. They got a strong team over there. I don't know if you know his father. I call him Coach Tucker. I know it's his father, but I call him Coach Tucker. That's what I got the name. You know what I'm saying? Whether y'all put him in the welterweight division, because he is a welterweight fighter that a lot of y'all should start paying attention to, just like y'all was doing Jaron Ennis. Y'all need to pay attention to Jahi Tucker that's about to step in there for his 8th professional fight. The big reason why I'm asking you all to pay attention is that he got mad talent, very solid boxer, very solid fighter, very solid brawler. He has a combination of a boxer, brawler. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he chooses to mix it up and fight, he can do that. And also he has crazy reflexes on his defense. Shit that, some of the stuff you see him do, that's because he totally understands it. He has the innate ability to pick up on it, process it, and then execute the reaction. A lot of fighters are not gifted like that. But I know a lot of people are saying, he's quiet. We don't know too much about him. No, man, just start tuning in. Check out Showtime's information. You know what I'm saying? The media content that he provides on Team Tucker. There's a backstory between the entire team over there. Look on his IG, follow him on IG, and start really paying attention. Don't pay attention when he gets close to a title shot now. Pay attention now when he's about to go in there and compete for his 8th professional fight. And really say to yourself, damn, you know what? This guy's entertaining. Jahi Tucker is very entertaining to watch, man. And he's tough as hell, too. He's very tough, man. He has a poker face that not too many fighters can hold on to, with the pace that he's able to put up in the ring. You know what I'm saying? There was one fight where Timothy Bradley criticized him for showboating too much, right? And then he came out the next fight, got that win. And then, he went over there. He didn't badmouth Timothy. He went over there, dapped up Timothy Bradley. Timothy started talking his talk. And then he was in another fight, and they felt that it was an early stoppage. So Jahi came back in the next fight, got the stoppage. He has this moment. You know what I'm saying? He has this cameo where he would look in the camera and say, and you have to follow him to know what he's talking about. He said, "Was that a bad stoppage?" This dude is talking to the camera and talking to his coach, you know what I'm saying, while still competing at a high level, dog. And why is it so important to pay attention to Jahi Tucker in the welterweight division? Because he's coming, man. Dude is coming strong. Like he's on the hunt, right? People are dropping off. Look, people are leaving off. When they get to Jaron Ennis, that's when the frequency stops. And I'm telling you that frequency should continue, because when the new school is on deck, it shouldn't be no talk unless you're speaking with Jahi Tucker in the company of Jaron Ennis, in the company of Virgil Ortiz, in the company of Sandor Martin, in the company of the new school cast that's at 147. We already know the Errol Spencers, Terrence Crawfords, the Keith Thurmans, the Sean Porters. We already know the Udinas Ugas. We understand that. The Danny Garcias. We understand that. But the new school is already on deck. It's just the temporary fans choose to just look at who's more popular. Well, I'm telling you, why not support a fighter when they're already in the light? Look, he has 7 professional fights on TV, y'all. 7 professional fights on TV already. Why shouldn't you pay attention to him? It's a high possibility that Jahi may be competing for a title in the same sense of which Teofimo Lopez did. He may be able to step in the ring in 12 to 13 fights. I'm just putting it out there. Teofimo did it in 15 fights, won the IBF title. Jahi may be able to eclipse that. It's just dependent on how much avenue, how much highway they give him, because they putting him in there with some tough guys, man. Like, he's fighting grown ass men. He's fighting grown ass men. And don't let him grow into his grown man strength. Don't let him don't let that happen anytime soon, bro. Don't let him go into his grown man strength. The dude Jahi is very, very young as a professional boxer. So he still has, in my opinion, his grown man, strength to grow into. And he may get his flowers early in the welterweight division and then potentially move up to 154. I don't know how long he's going to be at 147. But if y'all mentioning Jaron Ennis and you're just saying, check this out now, you just saying, well, Jaron Ennis has 29. Okay. Jaron Ennis had to start from somewhere, right? Okay. So y'all going to say, well, look at it. He only has 7 fights. Okay. I get it. But I want y'all to look at this situation just like you do David Morrell. Look at it just like you do David Morrell, goddammit. Because David Morrell has 6 victories, 5 knockouts. He's undefeated. Jahi is sitting at 7. I think realistically, the same attention should be given for Jahi Tucker at welterweight, just as David Morrell gets at super middle. I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before he start getting on the mic, man. I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before he start getting out the mic and calling out your favorite fighter. He already put it out there. He said, hey, I'm looking for the chip. I'm ready for, Top Rank to throw me a bone. I'm here. I'm ready. And, I feel like I can't be stopped. He's pretty confident in what they got going on. Team Tucker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking y'all, the listeners, to go over there and follow him on IG. Pay attention to him. He is the truth. You know what I'm saying? He has a huge landscape ahead of him in boxing. But I'm saying, don't wait till he gets to a point where he's fighting a Virgil Ortiz. If Virgil Ortiz comes back. You know what I'm saying? So let's look. Let's do this. I want to go to the welterweight division right quick. Because people look at rankings, the top 15 rankings. And my request to y'all is, we all know how the ranking system works. So when you look at Virgil Ortiz, right? Virgil Ortiz is ranked number 1 in the WBC and the WBA. He's ranked number 4 in the IBF, and number 1 is the WBO. Right now, Jahi Tucker beats Virgil Ortiz. Right now, he outworks him. Right now, he beats Virgil Ortiz, who's at the top of the list. For real. Seriously, look, dude is not even in the top 10 in any divisions. None. But let's look at the top 10. You get Jamal James, Michael Fox, Mikey Garcia, Delani Benji. You have Danny Garcia, which would be a good fight for Jahi to get into the top 10. That'd be a good fight. Fight Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Outbox the shit out of him. Box the ears off of him. David Avianesian. We already know he's a tough fighter. That'd be a good fight for Jahi too. Cody Crowley. That'd be an excellent fight. Custio Clayton. If Jahi want to get in the, close to the top 5 or whatever in top 10, Custio Clayton would be good too. We already seen that go down. You know, man, I'm telling you, Jahi is stronger than people give him credit for because they just haven't really paid attention to him. Now, you know what would be a good fight, but they're not going to take it? You know what would be a good fight before we get to Jaron Ennis? Because we all know Jaron Ennis versus Jahi Tucker be fire. But Conor Ben versus Jahi Tucker. I'm talking about pace setters. If that fight was 8 to 10 rounds, about 10 rounds, let's say 10 rounds. That fight 10 rounds, that'll be a nice one right now. But I seriously doubt Conor Ben's team will take that fight with Jahi Tucker. And look, y'all can't come up here and talk about, oh, he ain't ranked in the top 10. We already know how the rankings go, bro. We already know how the rankings go. Let's not play stupid. We already know how the rankings go. I know they probably going to give him somebody in the bottom half, the bottom half of the top 15 sooner or later. They're gonna give him somebody, you know what I'm saying, in the bottom 15. You know, put him in there with Mario Barrios, Karvalowskis, like I said, Cody Crowley, Jamal James. Any of these names to put him in the top 15, he's gonna get one. I'm telling you, before his 10th fight, man. Before his 10th fight, they're gonna throw him in there with somebody in the top 10. I just believe wholeheartedly that's what it's gonna be. Once he gets the fight with somebody in the top 15, right? Then that's when people are going to start really zooming in and saying, okay, Jahi Tucker, man, that's where it's at now. He's here. He's in the building. I'm telling you, man, he already here, bro. Now, for Jaron Ennis is did what Jaron Ennis is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? He bided his time, continued to win. And he finally was able to, get the fight with Custio Clayton. You know what I'm saying? And we all saw how that fight went. But look, I don't see it being any different for Jahi Tucker if he was stepping there with Custio Clayton. I don't see any different. It don't take nothing but a heartbeat. Pay attention to someone, that's not in the media as much, but he's gonna be in the media. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta lay that comparison down with David Morrell. Like, you got so many people talking about David Morrell. Cool. If you're trying to get David Morrell to step in there with David Benavidez, then pay attention to Jahi Tucker and be talking about him fighting some of the top fighters at welterweight. It's only fair, right? I do know which fight I do care about, and I've always read that. Okay, yeah, but I think that's a big deal. So y'all stop sleeping on the man. Show the young warrior some attention, a lot of attention over there. Follow him on IG. He has a fight coming up June 18th. All right, he going in there with another. It's not an easy touch, man. Matter of fact, let me show you something. Let me show y'all something right quick. Check this out. Let me share screen right quick. So, just in case y'all don't know who I'm talking about, this is Jahi Tucker. 7 victories, 0 defeats, 4 KOs, right? 5'11", so he has the height. All right, 68-inch reach. But peep this out. He's only 19 years old, man. He's only 19 years old. Birthplace, Queens, New York. Residence, Deer Park, New York. And check this out. If you go back to his very first fight, he has no freaking losing records on his resume right now. And all of them, look what they've been at. Check this out. MGM, 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 Las Vegas. You know how you look on certain fighters' resumes and they say Mexico? Look at this shit. Madison Square Garden, then Casino Verona, and then back to Madison Square Garden for Tracy Magruder. I mean, that's a hell of a damn site resume, huh? Your first fight in Vegas in the bubble? Still, it was Vegas though. And then, he's moved up to 6 rounders. You know what I'm saying? He ended up going the distance with Tracy Magruder, who was 6-1. Now he's about to step in there with DeAndre Smith, I believe, a fighter that's out of Atlanta or Georgia. And, he's not a soft touch either. These are not guys who just out here just doing shit for fun. These are credible and reputable opponents, man. 1-1, 1-0, 1-1, 3-1, 3-2, 6-4, 6-1 with Magruder. And let me look up his opponent. Hold on for a second. Let me give you his. Let me pull up his opponent if I can find it. Yeah, here you go. He is. Shout out to DeAndre Smith. He from down my way, man. He down here he down here in the deck. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeAndre, man. I don't know him personally. I never seen him in the gym. I might have seen him in passing. Real talk. But I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen the guy. But I will. I will though. Let me share his next opponent. All right. His name is DeAndre Smith. He goes right here. That's DeAndre Smith. 6 feet. They have the height, but they don't have the reach. Age 30. He's 11-1, 5 knockouts. He just had a fight down. He just had a fight down here, I believe. Cosmopolitan Lounge, Decatur. He won a unanimous decision against Dallas Prescott. You know what I'm saying? Debut. He has, he for a starter, he has a pretty decent record. Off the 337, he went, he got a 3-2, 13-4, 8-9. And then you have to look at the dates. He fought twice in 2020. Twice in 2019, once in 2014, and 3 times in 2013, once in 2012. And then in 2021, he fought twice. And he already fought once in 2022. So he's about to step in there with Jahi. And it should be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Another opponent with experience. 11-1, 5 knockouts. There you go. Don't say I didn't give you any, boxing media content, bro. That's his next opponent. So, yeah, that's what it is, man. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Shout out to Team Jahi. Shout out to Showtime Media. Continue to do what you do, man. Homing your skills. Continue to get better. The pictures, dog. We see you out here. Your pictures are everywhere. So continue with the shot steals, man, and grow those damn multitasking tools that you have as a media segue. Continue to build upon that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Team Tucker. Go get that shit, man. Shout out to Team Williams. I know he up there in the police academy. Shout out to y'all, man. Continue to thrive out there, Team Williams. You know what it is. And let's see what happens with this situation with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? With the contracts supposed to be this, that, and the other. And then the venue supposedly being Las Vegas and all this other stuff. I don't really care anything about that. All I care is the official word. Bring that shit out. And then so we can really start turning up the stove. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be a hot grease summer. All you gotta do is look in the bottom left corner. It's gonna be a hot grease summer for real. You know, turn up and tune in to World Cup Match Sports. I'm out, y'all.